Welcome to the Fresh Patch Podcast, where we talk about everything from dog training to potty talk. It's time to save your rugs and get real. This episode is brought to you by Fresh Patch, featured on Shark Tank, Oprah, and The Today Show. And here are your hosts, Drew and Gabe.
Welcome, everybody, to the Potty Talk Podcast. My name is Gabe. I'm the partnerships coordinator here. My normal co-host, Andrew, is on vacation, so we have a amazing guest co-host today.
Yes, so I'm Adriana. I am the social media and influencer partnership manager here at Fresh Patch.
Awesome, and we have another special guest here, our wonderful coworker.
Hi, how you doing? And my name is Akim George, currently, the supervisor of Fresh Patch. How you guys doing today?
Doing okay, man. You know, Drew kind of is the engine that keeps Fresh Patch going. And it's been a little stressful with him gone, but I think we're managing, we're doing okay. Well, hey, guys, thanks so much for joining again. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. You can find our podcast not only on YouTube, but we're also on Apple Music. We're on Spotify, so check it out, any platform you need. Adriana, want to take the first question?
So, Akim, just, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey here at Fresh Patch.
Well, my name is Akim, like I said, Akim George, currently serving the role of the supervisor here at Fresh Patch LLC. My journey here started back in October 2021. So far it's been tremendous, and me always trying to figure out ways to be innovative and create, ways of getting my job done,
Absolutely. So you started out, obviously you're the warehouse supervisor now, so you're kind of watching over people, training new guys, that sort of stuff. You kind of started from the bottom, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so basically I work from, I came in around a time when it was COVID, man,
Mm-hmm.
I moved in from Virginia. My sisters and my brothers, they call me over here and say, come to California and see how you like it so far, and I wasn't doing nothing around the time, and then, I was looking for something to do just to not be, stagnant and just sit down. So,
sure.
I got a call about a job, and I took the opportunity. I started working from, my way from the bottom and just gradually working my way up to the top, in the best of my ability, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean,
Yes.
we see it you're a hard worker, man. You deserve it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool to see.
Not just hardworking, but also fun-spirited,
Amazing.
too.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you got some spirit to you that brings this place alive, the warehouse. We know when you're in there because we hear your music. And
Right.
I hear you singing some Bob Marley,
I just try to keep in a positive attitude on a daily basis, no matter the challenges I'm facing, and just try to keep that mindset in every aspect of what I'm doing, who I'm encountering, whether it be people, being amongst animals and stuff like that,
Hey, you do a great job.
Yeah.
Like Adriana said, you're like the beating heart of the
Uh-huh.
office,
Thank you, I appreciate that,
the
man.
vibe carries on, no
Yeah.
doubt. So, as warehouse supervisors, we discussed, what does your typical day look like?
A typical day for me, I wake up around 4 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
Get my day started. I got my kids to deal with, my lady, for sure. So, I get up, get myself prepared, make some breakfast, come here. Sometimes I have a cup of coffee, start the day off, and then I proceed to checking my emails, checking in with my operations leader, my manager and such, and make sure, whatever priorities need to be done for the day, that's what the tasks I take on, and just try to show that leadership to the people, my coworkers around me. And yeah, that's like a typical day for me.
Absolutely. Make sure everything's going smoothly.
Everything is working smoothly, and make sure everything that's, let's say we having an issue, make sure we getting the troubleshooting problems solved, and trying to stay ahead and just staying on top of things,
You see many issues? Is that like a...
Yeah, sometimes, but there's always solutions to those problems, it's just how you take it on, sometimes some days are more challenging than, but it's just how you deal with it, man.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Playing the music?
Yes, sir. Get a little reggae, you know, try to get the vibes going, uplift the spirit, you know, uplift.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So speaking of that, we hear an accent there. So
Right.
just tell us a little bit, you know, about your background, cultural background.
Well, I hail from this country called Grenada in the southern hemisphere of the world, you know. It's a part of the archipelago, Caribbean islands, you know. I come from a parish called St. John's, small city, which is Guave, also known as the tongue that never sleeps, you know. So, yeah, you know.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
That's where my cultural background come from, you know. I moved here. I migrated to the States when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I lived in New York for a period of time, and I moved to Virginia when I was around, let's say, 19, 20, and then spent like 10 years in Virginia, and then I flew out here just 5 years ago, and yeah.
So how was that transition?
Yeah.
Sounds like, yeah.
Very different places.
Yeah, it's from like...
Yeah.
Well, you did go from one city that never sleeps to another city that never sleeps.
Definitely, yeah, right? So...
And now you're here,
And
which
now
is
you're-
very
yeah.
like sleepy town.
Yeah, it's like
so.
pretty much, I want to say, it's chill, it's calm, you know, and that's what, it reminded me of Virginia in a sense, but,
Yes.
you know,
By the beach.
yes, definitely.
Coming from Grenada to the U.S., was that, you know, at 12 years old, like that's a very impressionable age. Like you're still kind of developing and like learning a lot about yourself.
Yes, sir.
Was that a challenge for you, or did you adapt?
Definitely, because, you
Yeah.
know, having a cultural background, you know, and having to learn how to communicate and stuff, you know, like not learning how certain things as being from back home, and then you come here and it's a different aspect of life, and just having to learn how to adapt and readjust, you know, it's
Absolutely.
very challenging, you
Yeah.
know, so.
And like jumping into the schooling system too.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
Kids are mean. You gotta talk to the kids and stuff.
But
like,
yeah, that never, you know,
At
yeah.
that age.
No, you're
slowed me down. It just, you know, made me look into myself better, and I just keep trying to challenge myself to do better, you know.
So you're pretty happy here then.
Oh, yeah, man. It's beautiful. You know, I love the States, man, you know, especially here in California, the love, you know, receive up here is beautiful,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
I bet people like are always stoked on your accent.
Yeah, I get it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like trying to make people understand sometimes, you know. I would not change the way that, you know, I learn how to speak
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you to understand me in a sense, because, you know, I feel like sometimes I have to continue repeating myself over and over, but, you know.
Hey man, it's part
Yeah.
of the identity.
Yeah, you know,
gotta-
so I just try my best to, you know, give people a positive feed and how, you know, how to understand me in the way that I speak, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I never have an issue with it.
Yeah.
If
No.
anything, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you put
Yeah.
a little pizzazz on it.
Yeah.
But, you know,
It
just
sounds
saying, just
better.
relating
Yes.
back to like school days and stuff like that, you know, like,
Yeah.
so that's what it was for me.
You're one of our longest standing employees here at Fresh Batch, hence how you've been able to climb your way up to, you know, warehouse supervisor.
Right.
So
Yeah.
how did you find out? I mean, I know you kind of mentioned like you had a friend.
Yeah, so I actually got a call from, like I was saying, Kaylin, James's daughter that used to work here.
Yeah.
She was hanging out with a couple of friends at a bar, and my friend, which is my brother, they work, close friend, they work on a military base together.
Yes.
And for some reason, they was hanging out at the same spot together.
Yeah.
And, you know, she posted an ad about a job one day, and at that time, I wasn't doing nothing, and that's how, you know, I came to find out about the job.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Man, that's awesome. It's so
Yeah.
funny because like a lot of our, you know, you'll find that at Fresh Batch we have like a very family environment.
Yes,
And
definitely.
Yeah.
a lot of the warehouse workers are like, you know, so some people find it through Indeed, but most people it's like word of mouth, friend of a friend
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
How was the interview process?
Pretty, you know, a little nervous, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, this is my first time actually doing something like this. You
Oh,
know,
really?
I never really done a
Okay.
sit down interview. You know, but
Yeah.
I'm here for the challenge. You know, and just trying to improve on myself. You know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
always.
Yes, sir.
We all know how unique Fresh Patch is as a product, as a brand. But what are like some of the reactions you get from telling people like where you work?
most reactions that I get from people is mainly positive and, neutral feeling, when explaining to them, hey, man, this is what I do. And they'd be like, wow, that's very interesting. I never heard of any one idea like that before. And, it's mainly positive and neutral, that's always the feedback. There's never a case that I come across where I'm explaining to them what I do and, I get a negative reaction or anything to that nature, So for me, it's just always positive. People show interest and curiosity too.
For sure.
Trying to find out what the product is about, what how this work, how this system, is about.
For sure. And I was talking to Adriana about it. I don't know if you have this kind of thing happen to you, but I find that when people ask what I do, and I kind of will be like, oh, I work at Fresh Patch, and then it's a real grass dog potty. It turns into a whole spiel because they want to know more. They're like, what is this?
Definitely, and I try to give them a good insight on what it's about, and just share my experiences,
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think we're definitely in that phase still of, what is it? It's, grass in a box to go potty in for your pets. It gets delivered. And it does turn into an actual conversation with people.
Yeah. Right.
So I feel like it's interesting to see people's reactions.
It is.
And it tends to be the same one of positive, but really curious of whoa.
Yeah. One that I get a lot is you guys make money doing that? Yes,
definitely.
Actually, yes, we're very busy.
Right.
Yeah, I think to me still, because I know when I saw the job listing, I was just like, okay, grass in a box for potty. Okay, fine. I'll just, apply and then getting the call back. But then, seeing the warehouse and, every day that you pass by for us, at least in the office, it's whoa, there's all these orders and pallets.
If you walk out there on a Monday, it's just it's walls of boxes going out to people. And it's wow, people really use real grass with their dog daily, which is
or different pets,
or different pets, cats,
definitely.
bunnies.
Most people here, they be curious, man. Just always want to find out how does this work, and what this is about. And
I started when I don't want to go too deep into it, I just started saying oh yeah, I work at a dog company and I love dogs, they're great.
Yeah.
So
I try to give them details on what it's about. As you guys say, it's the grass, for the dogs to go and pets to go potty training on, and just describe to them what it's about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I can tell you from my dog, who's been sitting here panting for the past however long we've been recording, but you're definitely one of the favorites for the office dog. I know Oliver will come straight to you every morning to say hi.
Right.
And I know it's like that with a lot of the office dogs. So have you always been a dog person? Did you grow up with dogs?
Yes, definitely, man. I always been around pets, animals to say, not just dogs, but cats, every farm, just growing up in the islands, being a little country boy, being around my grandfather, just, but definitely my great-grand, she always kept dogs around, my aunties, they always kept, I had my fair share of running from neighbors' dogs and stuff growing up in the island. So, I always been around.
Yeah.
Dogs
I mean, that's kind of what we have around here, too. We have dogs running around.
Yes.
But I see you chasing the dogs sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's part of my routine in the morning, so I forgot to include that, right? When you ask me what my typical day look like, because I normally get my cardio in with Stella when she comes in, and we do 2 laps around the field, and
you shouldn't work here if you don't like dogs.
Animals. I agree.
If you don't like dogs running around or coming into your office or following you, or this would not be the place for you.
Yeah, man, I'm very pet friendly.
Yeah, you actually watched. We had our COO Jason on a couple weeks ago with Archie. You babysat Archie, didn't you?
Yes, I definitely did. Babysat Archie.
How was that?
A few times, I feel like.
Archie's a great experience, man. He always keep me worked up on the go,
Yes.
He's a beautiful... he remind me of myself in a sense, I love to do athletic stuff, play basketball, soccer, and stuff like that. And to see how he operates as a, dog, he's very athletic. He likes to keep moving.
He's got a lot of energy.
So, that energy gravitated to me, when I first met him. So I just love, being around him and taking on babysitting them every time,
So funny.
Need to be done. Yeah.
We were talking about how as we were setting up, like we hear Archie like barking in the background.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
like, it's because I'm in here.
He heard my voice and just, really started going off.
Like we said, there's lots of dogs around the office, but who's your favorite?
That would be hard to say, but I don't necessarily have a favorite. When you say a favorite, meaning like on the office side of things or the production side of things?
Either way.
Either way?
Either, yeah.
The dogs that are running around.
Well, Stella is one of my favorite,
she's over here asleep. She lifted her head.
Oh, she heard you say her name.
Yeah.
Stella, all the dogs are my favorite. I love all of them just as equally the same, but Stella just gravitated to me more, just being around the longest, being and working here.
I was going to say, you guys got that bond.
Yes, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Part of your daily routine. And stuff,
Yeah, man, she keep me woke,
Yeah.
Keep me on a straight and help assist me out there on the job.
Yeah. Stella's great. Yeah. Stella's great. After she does all her like running around in the morning and obviously with you and running down the hallways, and then in the afternoons, that's when she comes in and she's just like nap time.
Mm-hmm. Another thing with Akim and the office dogs is, like there's that little treat bag on the table right before you get into the office. You're always giving them
I make sure I have something for them to get the day started. Like
maybe that's why you're the favorite.
Yeah.
It's just like my kid. Taking care of my babies, man. That's how I look at the pups around.
I will say though, every time I'm with Oliver and we're coming back into the office, he always stops at the table.
He knows.
And he looks,
He's like,
don't forget. Don't forget.
I know what this table means.
Oh, man, they know they have a routine in the morning. They come. I love to see them, man. It gives me a joy. Whether I'm having a bad day and then they're just
happy.
It just cheer me right up, bro. Yeah. And I get my day going and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, man.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, definitely, Yeah.
It's funny, we were talking about with Jason on our podcast how like having dogs in the office, like it isn't just great for the owner of the dogs, but it's great for everybody else too. Everybody benefits from it.
Man.
I mean, I don't have a dog. I'm like the auntie around the office, but it's like I can't have dogs at my place. So it's like nice to come and like have dogs. And then, like when the dogs aren't here, I'm kind of like, aw.
Yeah, they love
like there's no dogs.
Yeah, definitely. My days be like, okay, well, no Stella. I be talking to my manager Clay and be like, hey man, if Stella is not here, why are you here? Yeah. Right? So it's definitely they bring the energy, man.
Yeah.
Every time I see them, they just uplift my spirit,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
Previous episode, we were talking to Drew about some of the craziest stories that he has working in the warehouse. It's a very interesting work environment.
Right.
It's fun. It's high energy. All of that. Mm-hmm. Do you have any that come to mind? Crazy stories of just like working in the warehouse, anything like that?
Ooh.
That you could share.
Yeah, yes, PG, please.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had a hiccup one time and I'm working out there, just trying to get the job done in a timely manner, and I was stacking actually some pallets. And there is this water spigot that, this cutoff valve that sticks out
I know
the pole. And apparently I came too close putting in the pallet, and I ended up just nicking it a little bit. And, dude, it was water everywhere, flooded, and, man.
That wasn't too long ago because I was here.
You was?
I was here.
Oh, gosh.
So maybe 2 years ago?
Definitely was 2 years ago. But luckily, the team members that I have that came around, lifted my spirit up to figuring out how to resolve the issue, and just trying to make everything work for the next following days to come,
Yeah. How was that resolved? Like, did you guys have to shut down for a little
We
bit?
definitely had to shut off
the water,
the main
I think.
water
Yeah.
system outside, you know.
And then moving on to positive,
Yes.
what's a favorite memory
Yes.
of working here?
My favorite memory is just learning from each other every day, you know, just being around each other and just figuring out new ways to do the job and just. I don't have a favorite memory, like, you know, because every day I'm creating new memories here, you know. So to me, I wouldn't say I have a favorite memory so far, but it's just learning on a daily basis for me, you know. That's what it's about, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate you guys for having me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really fun learning more, like, you know, about your background and your story and stuff. And, like, that's something we want to do is bring more employees in and learn more about them. And, again, really thank you so much for jumping on today.
My pleasure, man.
So,
thank you.
People, if you're ordering grass, specifically standards, right? No, larges is your thing, right?
Larges is my thing.
Yeah,
everything is, you know,
He's got his hands
I indulge in everything.
If you're ordering a large, there's a very, very good chance that this man is hand packing it for you. So thank you for doing that also. I'm sure our viewers are thankful for that as well.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it. Thank you for allowing me to share my story with you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Just a quick reminder, if you are still here, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Follow us on social medias at Fresh Patch. That's, you know, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. Look us up. You'll find us. And, give us a follow. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope to catch you guys next time on the next podcast. Again, my name is Gabe. I'm here with
Adriana,
and
You have Akim here.
Akim, the legend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much, and hope to catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to the Potty Time Podcast, brought to you by Fresh Patch. We hope you enjoyed the show. Give us a like or a follow, or shop all of our real grass supplies at freshpatch.com.